What's up YouTube, Darry here from Zephyr Wargames, bringing you, before we get into the duel, how to build a Dragon Ball Super deck. So this one in front of us is basically the entire starter deck. So the starter deck called the Awakening, which you get this Super Saiyan God Goku as your leader. This is everything you get in that deck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through it, and then towards the end I'm going to show you what I would highly advise you getting if you want to stick with the blue card, or just the generic staple cards that you're going to use in all your decks throughout this entire game. So without further ado, we're going to start straight off. So what you get in this starter deck is you get your Son Goku leader. So obviously that's the one that we've been showing you in the tutorials, and that is your main leader card. You then get 4 God Rush Son Goku. You also get 2 Vegeta Prince of Speeds, and you get 2 Super Saiyan Son Goku Maximum Energy. So for level 5s and above, you only want about 1/5 of your deck, so about 10 or less. So you got, as you see, you got 8 here, so that's about the right number. So you don't really want any higher. So 5, 6, 7s, 8s, 9, 10s, 11s, and 12s and stuff like that. You only want a mixture of about 8 to 10 because they can be very, very cloggy early game. So you don't want those too early. Then we move on to the 4s. In the starter deck, you get 2 Mighty Striker Son Goku, 4 Whis the Resting Attendant, and 2 Energy Boost Beerus. Again, these kind of serve the exact same purpose as your 5, 6s and above. You only really want about 8 to 10 of these in your deck as well, unless of course you have certain ones that have abilities that drop their cost levels. Now the reason you don't want too many high levels in your deck is because they can cause you bricking issues. What you've also got to remember is with these Gokus up here is they have the ability to evolve. Because this is a Goku deck, they can evolve for 1 energy less. So I'll show you here on this one. The exact same with the Vegeta. So when the camera focuses, there we go. It's got an evolve effect, and the evolve effect is 2 blue plus 2 of any colour. So this technically means it is actually a drop 4, and the Son Goku God is only a drop 5 as well. They all have certain abilities, so this one has double strike. It has an auto. When this card evolves into this card gains the effect of dual attack, which means it gets to attack twice. Vegeta has double strike, so double damage, and when you have 5 or more energy, when you play this card, it lets you draw 2 cards. And the God Rush Son Goku, again, is an evolve cost of 5, so that evolves are always literally 1 colour or 1 energy less. It gets double strike, and when you play this card, choose all your opponent's cards with blocker and return them to the hand. So we've got blockers in this deck, and basically what they are is they're cards that can take the full front. So when you would normally combo, you can, or when you would normally counter, you choose to block instead, and that blocker takes the full force of the attack, so it means you haven't got to bury on loads and loads of combos. And then the rest of these cards are all double strikes and stuff like that. The Whis one actually puts an energy from the top of your deck when you play it into your energy, or a card from the top of your deck into your energy, which is very, very good. Beerus, when he hits the board, he KOs one of your opponent's battle cards, which again is very, very helpful and very, very good. But like I said, you don't want too many of these. 8 to 10 is the right ratio. Now for the drop 3s, we've got 3 Assailant Vegeta, double Rapid Son Goku. Now these two, again, this Goku counts as a drop 2, which is very, very good, because when he evolves, he activates one of your energies again. And the Vegeta is very good because it's a critical booster, and he also works off well. He can evolve into the Sprint or Speed of King of Speed, sorry, Vegeta. So critical, for those of you who don't know, is when you deal damage to your opponent's life points, instead of it going to their hand, it goes to the graveyard instead. Now the level 3s, again, can kind of take up the spaces. So if you were to take 2 of your 4s out, I'd put 2 more level 3s in. With this one, the Goku is obviously considered like a drop 2 if you're evolving it, or a drop 3 if you're not evolving it. So a nice kind of like 5 to maybe 8 of your 3s is kind of what you want. The rest of this deck plays a lot of 2s, which is, again, these are all what you get in a structured deck. So this is a very, very budget deck at 12 quid. Like, that's what we picked these up for. So triple Son Goten, triple Trunks. These are just vanilla, basically, 2 drops at a 15,000 attack. Again, with the 2s, technically you can count the Gokus in this one as well. These are just the balance of what you get in a deck. Like, the ratios, again, I would say you want 8 to 10 4s and above, 8 and 10 5 and aboves, 8 to 10 4s, then you want 8 to 10 3s, 8 to 10 2s, and then you basically kind of want to spread it out between the rest of it. So your 1 drops, although you want to see them early, you don't really want them later games. So with these examples, they're all searches, so all our 1-drops are searches. You've got your Goku, which searches you out more Gokus with your top 7 cards, and then you've got a Bulma, which searches you out the Whis. So these are very, very good to search you out, but they're not exactly that strong, so they're used more for combo, or in the Goku example, evolving. These, again, you want 8 to 10, so each of your levels. So, level 1's 8 to 10, level 2's 8 to 10, 3's 8 to 10, and then your 4s, and between your 4s and then 6, 7s, 8, 9s and 10s, you want to kind of mix between 10s. Or you can take 2s away from your 1s and stuff like that. You just want to have a nice balance. Then we've got another couple of 2-drops. So for these are our blockers. For 2-drops we've got Piccolo, because he's our blocker. And for a 1-drop we've got Supreme Kai, again, Guardian North Kai, and they're blockers. So these are basically, instead of countering, you go block, and this takes the full force of the attack, which is very, very good. You don't have to play blockers, it really depends on what type of deck you're facing and what type of deck you're playing. Blockers can go into the side deck as well, which is a 15-card side deck when you go to the bigger tournaments. But having at least 4 blockers is always going to be quite good, because they can be quite a handful for your opponent to deal with, especially if you don't have loads of combos in hand. So the Kai is probably more important than the Piccolo in this one. And like I said, when I get to the suggested cards, which are right beside me, I'll show you what you can take out as well. For Whis' Corrosion, you play this at 4, no question. These are your negates. Every colour has their own negate card. This one reactivates an energy, the red one reactivates a battle card, and I'm pretty sure the yellow actually got a battle negator, so when your opponent makes a monster, you activate it for 1 drop, and it negates their effects for that turn, so it's very, very good. And then the other thing you got in the starter deck was this Encouraging Presence Monica. This basically gives your leader double strike, and you get to draw 1 card, so it's just a nice little extra card. With the extra cards in this deck, you didn't get as many as you needed, and that's because most of the staple ones came in the first booster set. So you probably want a safe 10 of those. What I will do is I will be bringing you my deck profile of my Vegeta deck that did very, very well at a locals, my very first locals actually, to show you the kind of competitive level. This is just a basis of your 50 card deck. The sleeves are magic side or standard size. The reason I've got orange ones is these orange ones are from my Vegeta deck, so I just wanted to make sure I didn't mix them up in the deck, so don't worry about that. And I will show you a more competitive build. But just for you getting started, if you pick that one up for £12, these are the cards that I highly recommend you pick them up. And again, they're relatively cheap until you get to the Sensu Beans. So if you're keeping with blue, you want to get your Unyielding Spirit Trunks. This is just from the Battle Pack 2. It's probably about a 10p card. In the UK, it might be a little bit harder to find, so they might be about 50p, but there are some good sellers online that you can get play sets for about £1 to £1.50. He's just a nice little combo that reactivates your energy. You then want to pick up Boost Attack Piccolo. This is a little bit more expensive, they're about £1 each, but each colour has this ability where it's a zero boost cost and 0 to play it, but it's when your life is 4 or less, you play this card, it gains 10,000 boost attack, and you draw a card, so it's very, very good, and all colours have those, so pick those up as well. Again, with all colours, that came out in Battle Pack 1, this one came out in Battle Pack 2, or the Booster Set 2, again, all colours have this one as well. This is basically a 1-cost drop of 10,000 boost power, but at the end of the battle, after you comboed with this card, you get to play this in rest mode on your field. Again, all colours have this. Red has a Vegeta, blue's got the Gohan, and then yellow's got a Frieza, and I don't think green actually has one. I think green has a Tien, which is a 2-drop, 10,000, and I think it special summons itself and destroys a card. And then these are the staple cards that you can probably play across other decks as well. Is you've got your Energy Boosted Majin Buu. This is basically just your draw card. So you play this card, you get to draw 1 card. Bit of a deck thin. He came in Battle Pack 1, a little bit harder to get hold of, probably about £2 card per one. But you would play this against many of your other decks because you play a nice little blue staple engine, which consists of Buu, Objection, which basically lets you choose another card from your hand and boost in your energy, so you get to speed through your energy quicker. And then Sensu Bean. This is the most expensive extra card, but this is probably your first stop to get it. So it basically, you choose one of your cards, it gains plus 5,000 power for the duration of the turn, and then you get to reactivate 2 of your energy. These are about £10 a card. I picked mine up very, very cheaply from America, and I think America are a little bit cheaper as well with some of their cards, so you might not have much of an issue if you're watching from America picking this up. But these are definitely important cards that I would say get for your deck. If you're sticking with blue, I would take out the blocker Piccolos. You don't really need those in there. You could probably take out this Monica as well if you wanted to kind of cut that down some sizes. You would take out the vanilla Trunks and Gotens just to keep you going, and you'd probably take out the higher cost Gokus as well. Like you wouldn't need 4 God Rush Son Gokus. So you take them out to kind of minimise your deck level and go from there. But just as a quick basis, like I said, you probably want a minimum of 10 extra cards, which are your Sensu Beans, your Whis Corrosion, stuff like that. You then want about 40 battle cards, and your battle cards would range between 8 to 10 level 1s, 8 to 10 level 2s, 8 to 10 level 3s, and then about 8 to 10 level 4s. And then your 6, 7s, 8s, 9s and 10s and all your bigger levels will probably come down to a lot. You probably want no more than about 8, unless you have the ability to flood them out quite quickly with your deck. So making that a nice ratio kind of works well. Anyway, so this is just a quick introduction into decks. I will next bring you my Vegeta deck so you can see what a fully competitive deck looks like. And then you can use that as we move into the duels, and then you can see how the gameplay kind of works. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Go pick up one of these decks from your locals or, of course, online. Many different retailers you can probably pick these up from. If you're in the UK and you want to wait a little bit more, in America they've also got a GT Son Gohan and a Bardock Dark deck as well that they can pick up. So in the UK, if you want to wait for those, you can do. But if you're desperate to get started, this is the only starter deck that we have at this moment in time, so pick this up, give it a go, and then you're ready to go when the new set drops. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Hope this helps. Any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.